Bipolar rollers, welcome back. You know, it's crazy, the domino effect that neglecting a portion of your mental health treatment can have on everything else. You know, I thought I was doing the right things, working out, listening to sound frequencies at night, meditating, just taking time for me. But I left out a few things, I stopped going to a therapist or talking to somebody about my feelings, about the condition. I stopped, I stopped eating right, and everything just kind of caves in, It's like you let one of your walls become thin and then the whole structure just kind of caves in on itself. Reality is you need to have all of the elements. It can't just be part of the arsenal some of the time. I stopped having somebody I could bounce my feelings off of or get a gauge on where I'm at. I stopped eating right, started eating more takeout junk food, and felt miserable. My body was just not handling things well, and more stomach pains, more conflicting feeling, because when you don't feel good, it affects you mentally. The reality is your body crapping out is it's going to affect your moods. It's going to affect what you feel up for. You can't go places, you can't do certain things, you don't interact with people properly when you're in pain or your body feels like shit, right? So you can't neglect some of the strategies that you have in place. I always think exercise, sound frequencies, proper sleep, having a therapist or someone you can talk to bounce your ideas off of, bounce your feelings off of, get a gauge for where you're at. It's the meditation. If that starts to slack because you're not feeling good and you're having trouble sitting still or taking the walks that you need to take. So exercise, nature, lots of getting out there, lots of interacting with people that you feel comfortable and safe with, lots of sleep, because sleep is super important. And when you start missing out on sleep, or you're finding yourself having trouble sleeping, then mania is just right around the corner. If not, you're already immersed in it, because mania likes to rear its ugly head and make it obvious by just not allowing you to have the sleep that you need. You feel like you don't need it anymore. Mania is crazy like that. So you can't leave out, I guess, portions of your recovery. You got to do your best to get all the elements in, because if you're going to do this without pharmaceuticals, you can't slack. You just can't. And these are all things that are fun and great, and they're not really that much work. Once you get into the habit of these things, they don't sound all that bad. What's wrong with sleeping well? Finding ways to sleep well. What's wrong with working out? You feel amazing afterwards, do you not? What's wrong with having someone to talk to that helps you organize your thoughts or tells you when you're going, off the deep end? What's wrong with sound frequencies that program your mind while you sleep, or set off certain endorphins in your brain that just allow your body to do what it was born to do, which is naturally heal and help you balance out? What's wrong with eating right? Takeout junk food tastes freaking delicious for the 15 to 20 minutes that you had it, and then you notice. Trust me, you notice. Your body tells you right away that was not good for me. You feel amazing when you eat right. you feel amazing when you eat right. And I highly recommend eating things with vibrant colors. Fruits and vegetables with vibrant colors tend to give you the little cheat sheet that they tend to give you more of what you need. But you got to be careful where you get it from too, obviously, because these days vibrant colors can often mean they've painted it or colored it just right so that it looks fresh, but they were picked too soon. They weren't ripe. Things. So, you got some homework to do, but overall, if you follow all those elements and you stick with it, you've got this, and you're ready to make bipolar your bitch. Thanks for hearing me out. It's been a little while since I made some videos. I've been coaching a few of you quite aggressively over the last while, and I'm proud to say, one of my, I don't want to say students, but one of my peers, one of my fellow bipolar people just got the raise that she's been fighting for. Now that she's in a better place mentally, having somebody letting her know just how amazing she is, and that bipolar does not limit who she is as a person. And one of my other bipolar peers has finally got his girlfriend back, and has been consistently showing her that he's got this under control, because I know bipolar wreaks havoc on relationships if you let it run unfettered. The reality is, those of us with bipolar don't handle stress very well. We really don't, and we have to accept that. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I have a hard time with it because I don't like having weaknesses, I take them very personally. But that is one of our weaknesses. We're not great with stress. But once you know that, you take more steps to eliminate the unnecessary stresses that you have in your life, because we all need a little bit of stress. We all need a challenge. We all need to be pushed, to improve as people, to build character, to become who we were destined to be. But let's face it, we bring upon ourselves a lot of unnecessary trauma, and that stress is something we can do without. So let's trim the fat, get rid of that stress you don't need, because it's totally unnecessary and unproductive to your life. We have to stop living like we need, to be stressed out over some pretty annoyingly simplistic and unnecessary stuff. I went to church many years ago for the first time in a long time, trying to try something that was kind of more multi-faith and more just kind of in general in regards to just being a good person and improving yourself. And I'll never forget, there was this one part in the sermon where the priest had said, we have to remember two things in life, and if you remember these two things, your life will change forever. And the first thing he said was that don't sweat the small stuff. And I thought, that's good advice. And then the second thing he said is, and remember, it's all small stuff. And that really stuck with me, because he's right. In this world, things have a way of working themselves out without all our unnecessary worry and anxiety. So remember, when you go through life today, and when you get back to doing some of the things that were helping you, just remember to not sweat the small stuff. And more importantly, remember that it's all small stuff. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Get out there and represent.